Okay, so my question was, we've been looking at, there seems to be kind of weakness across the board in different sectors of the market here and elsewhere, which makes me wonder whether we should blame Evergrande, because I thought maybe the banks are weak, but it's really kind of a risk-off trade. Do you think this is China or just the pause that might refresh given an extended market that we've seen?
That's a great question. Look, I think that there are the problems with China seem to have snuck up on people, but some of us have been talking about this for weeks. So I do think we'll get to a buy point. We're just not there yet, as too many people are just discovering that there's real weakness. I also think that this problem with autos is not going away because of the semiconductor shortage. The numbers about people who want to buy a home are almost at historic lows all of a sudden. There's a lot of things that have combined to be negative suddenly, Joe, and I've got to tell you, that kind of thing tends to sort itself out. But as Mohammed said, I mean, it doesn't sort itself out until people say, wait a second, maybe I have too much in, or I have so much in, I've got to wait it out. We've been telling people to sell. It's been uncomfortable to tell people to sell. I'm not stopping that. I'm continuing to think you sell.
What does that say for IPOs? Leslie just did a piece, how great the environment is. I mean, do you think that it doesn't take long for that to start switching around, does it, Jim?
No, you're so right. I mean, look, we did have a couple good ones last week. Dutch Bro was very good. But the problem is, Joe, is there's just so much already existing supply that's going to start coming out. We're going to start seeing secondaries from stocks that are up real big. These new deals seem to have lower quality. They just kind of get slated, and then they happen. People need to sell other things in order to be able to buy them. There's not enough money coming into the market. This is seasonally the weakest part of the entire year. The 20 days that begin September 17th tend to be the worst single 20 days in the market. Let's ride it out. Let's just watch. If you don't have a lot of stock, you know, you're going to get a buy point, but not yet.
We had Larry McDonald on earlier. He was talking about volatility in the yuan to watch. He was talking about credit default swap moves on international banks, foreign banks versus domestic banks. What would you use to tell you that what's happening is starting to ripple through and actually turn into some type of credit problem, Jim? It's not there yet. Probably the bonds aren't really doing much. 10-year,
I'm not buying it at all. I like Larry. I'm not buying one bit of what he had to say. I think that we aren't even allowed in most of those situations. BlackRock had a very small position. I don't care about the European banks. They've been pathetic for a long time. I would not be shorter-term bullish after the sell-off if it weren't for the fact that we were kicked out of China a long time ago. We can't even buy this stuff. It's all Chinese. The Chinese government, if they want to save it, they can save it. But the idea of the contagion, yeah, it's going to happen in the stock market, but it's not going to happen in reality because our banks are very strong and their banks are a bunch of jokers. I mean, one of the things that we've realized from day one is that since common prosperity became the watchword for the Chinese government, they're going after everybody. And the richest person in China owned Evergrande. So I'm not going to buy into their decision to be communist as being negative for us, Joe. It's positive for us. I mean, this is the chance that we can reassert ourselves. But we have to go through the Larry McDonald negativity before we realize, hold it, just a second. It turns out that it had nothing to do with Bank of America. So go sell Bank of America. Just go sell it at 39. Try to get it back to 37. You know, Joe, I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not going to go there. I am negative, but I'm not going to tell people to, like, go be hedge funds. Makes no sense.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.